And good morning. Like all of you, I'm inspired by the potential of virtual and augmented reality to take us to places limited only by our imagination. At NASA, we're also excited by the potential of this new medium to take us to real places that are no less fantastic. I want you to take a moment and imagine with me what that future could be like. What if a scientist could stand on Mars without leaving his or her office? They could explore the Martian landscape using the same skills that they developed as a geologist on Earth. We could bring them together with their colleagues around the world within the environment that they're exploring. And what if we could put a person inside the body of a robot and let them control it as naturally as they control their own body? We could extend our reach into hazardous environments and control our machines more effectively than ever before. Now imagine an astronaut on the space station who's able to collaborate with an expert on Earth as naturally as if they are together. They could get more done, make fewer errors, and return more science from the greatest laboratory ever built. Now imagine a spacecraft designer studying full-scale holograms of a spacecraft years before a piece of metal is cut. They can discover and correct problems long before they could endanger a launch or a mission. We believe that all these applications will revolutionize space exploration, but I'm sorry to say that this is not our future, because it's happening right now. So as you can see, we're already well on our way in this journey. We're moving so quickly because we haven't gone alone. We've made partnerships with great companies, and we're pursuing goals together of mutual interest. We're committed to pairing the right technologies with the right problems at NASA, and I'm sure we're going to continue this strategy of partnership, especially with those innovators who are bringing new devices to this market and those working on reusable development frameworks. Now, I hope you're going to join us at 5 o'clock today, where we'll go a little more in depth on some of the applications we're building. But right now, I want to draw your attention to one application that you just caught a glimpse of in that video. It's a new application under development in my lab, and we're talking about it publicly for the first time today. It's a tool for spacecraft designers, and it borrows a lot of technology from the work that we're doing for our applications on the International Space Station. It has this simple goal, which is we want to bring the designs of our spacecraft out of the CAD tools and into the real world far earlier in the development process than ever before. Because it's there that we can study these designs and discover the problems long before they become costly errors. It's a little bit like a 3D print button for a CAD tool. Only we can print these designs at any scale and keep them instantly up to date with the evolving designs of our spacecraft. I'm going to show you a video here of a little bit of that in action. We're already using this on 3 new missions at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Our new Europa orbiter, our new Mars rover, and this spacecraft, which is a Earth science mission. So not only can we walk around these models as if they're in the room with us, we can extend that experience to people using a desktop client anywhere in the world. We can evaluate the assembly process of these spacecraft. And this is a big deal for us because the assembly of the spacecraft could be the difference between launching on time or having to slip a launch. We can make sure that spacecraft assemblers can get their hands into the parts of the spacecraft where parts need to be attached. We're very excited by what these kinds of technologies are going to do to allow us to reduce the risk and cost of our missions in the future. Now, I know I started out today by talking about the future, which really ended up being today. So for that, I think I owe you all a few thoughts about what I think our future really holds. A lot of people are asking whether virtual reality could ever be as good as being there. And while I don't think we've accomplished that goal yet, I've realized that that isn't nearly ambitious enough. I now believe that VR can be better than being there. Let me explain. I can't wait for the day that our astronauts first arrive on Mars. Extending human presence to another planet is one of our species' most imperative objectives. And the arrival of astronauts on Mars will be one of the greatest accomplishments of our generation. But on that amazing day, the astronauts will not be the only ones exploring. They will be supported by hundreds or even thousands of virtual astronauts, call them telenauts, who are exploring alongside them. And these telenauts will have abilities that our astronauts could only dream of. Our astronauts will look upon that alien landscape with their own eyes. The telenauts will see it from every possible perspective and angle and wavelength offered by all the robots, spacecraft, aircraft, and the astronauts on that expedition. They'll peer deep underground with radar. They'll see the chemical compounds in the air around them. Our astronauts will take those all-important first steps on the red planet. The telenauts will soar overhead and descend into the canyons below. And finally, while our first human missions to Mars will carry only a few brave astronauts, through the technologies that we're all discussing here today, we can all join the expedition alongside them. I look forward to sharing that journey with you. Thank you all.